woman clearing out her late mother's china cabinet found a small lidded bowl with two little handles, tarnished dark, part of some old tea set nobody used, and almost dropped it in the charity box with the mismatched cups. Antique sugar bowls run from about $75 to over $60,000, averaging around $1,500, so that little two-handled bowl could have been a Georgian sterling piece worth thousands, while the modern one beside it was worth the price of the box it went in. That's not a coincidence. The bowl was always valuable. The value was lost the moment it passed from someone who didn't know what they held to someone who did, and that gap is where the money in old sugar bowls hides. Here's the thing about sugar bowls. They almost never travel alone, so when the teapot chipped or the cups broke, the sugar bowl survived and ended up orphaned in a drawer, a small anonymous pot with no obvious use, and that orphaning is what buries them, because separated from its set and tarnished, it reads as the least important thing in the cabinet, when it can be the most valuable. There's history in it too, because sugar was once a luxury locked away, so the covered sugar bowl was a status piece made in the finest silver and porcelain. To you, it's a dated little lidded pot. To a collector, it's a maker, a material, an era, a form, details deciding whether you hold pocket change or a four-figure piece. The real question isn't whether they're worth money. It's why the valuable ones stay so cheap and who benefits. Knowledge sits in very few hands, and a resale economy runs on it. So here are 10 common sugar bowls people own without knowing it. One warning first, and it matters more than anything else. Do not put an old sugar bowl in the dishwasher. Do not scrub the gilding or pattern, and do not over-polish the silver, because dishwasher heat clouds and sickens old glass and lifts gilding permanently. Scouring wears away the decoration that carries the value, and aggressive polishing strips the hallmarks and patina a collector reads for age. Wash it gently by hand and identify it before you clean it. The first is the Georgian and Victorian sterling silver sugar bowl, most likely to be misjudged as tarnished junk because age turns silver black and a dark little bowl looks like nothing. In solid silver, the metal sets a floor and the maker sets the ceiling. A Georgian covered sugar by a named Smith climbs into the thousands, and a piece by a great maker like Hester Bateman, whose urn-form sugars are prized, is a serious find. The earliest ones have a lovely quirk. On some early George II bowls, the detachable lid inverts to become a small saucer, a two-in-one design that marks a genuinely old piece. The tells are the full hallmark row, the lion passant, the assay mark, the date letter, the maker's initials, and the quality of the embossing. People inherit a tarnished bowl and see a tired old thing to polish. The buyer reads the hallmark and knows whether it's scrap or abatement. The next one is the sparkly one people assume is worthless pressed glass. The second is the cut glass and early American pattern glass sugar bowl, where two near-identical bowls can be worlds apart. Genuine hand-cut lead crystal and the better Eapsh pressed patterns from the great American glass houses of roughly 1850 to 1914 are collected, while thin modern pressed glass is not. The tells are the weight and ring of real lead crystal, the sharpness of hand-cut facets against the rounded edges of a molded copy, and the specific named EFG pattern, some far rarer than others. A brilliant period American cut glass covered sugar can carry real value, while its pressed look-alike is a few dollars, so read the cuts and ring the glass. If that surprised you, the next is the delicate one people are afraid to even pick up. The third is the fine porcelain sugar bowl by a great factory, where a small mark on the base changes everything. A covered sugar in early Coalport, Worcester, Spode, Meissen, or Sèvres, hand-painted and gilded, is a genuine collectible that collectors of early porcelain hunt. The tells are the factory mark on the base, crossed swords for Meissen, the printed or impressed marks of Spode, Coalport, and Worcester, plus a pattern number, and the quality of the hand painting and gilding. Hand-painted always beats printed transferware, and the mark plus the painting quality tells you which you have, while everyone else just sees fragile old china. The fourth is the transfer-printed Staffordshire bowl, whose value is in a scene and a date. Historical Staffordshire, the dark blue transfer-printed earthenware of the early 1800s, especially the American market pieces showing landmarks, heroes, and events, is seriously collected. One covered sugar showing Washington at his tomb by Enoch Wood & Sons, a documented type. The tells are the depth and color of the transfer, usually a rich dark blue, the specific scene, and the impressed maker's mark, Enoch Wood, clues, stubs. The subject matters enormously because a rare view or a patriotic American scene lifts a piece far above a generic floral one, so the scene on the side might be the whole value. The fifth lesson is the one that costs people the most, and with sugar bowls it is written underneath. Flip it over and read the base. Nearly every valuable sugar bowl tells you what it is on the bottom, and almost nobody looks. On silver, the hallmark row names the metal, maker, assay office, and exact year. On porcelain, the factory mark and pattern number name and date it. On glass, the pattern and the wear ring tell the story. And the base carries the evidence of age, the honest wear where it sat for a century, the tone of aged glass, the softened edges of a real hallmark. People price a bowl on how it looks from above and never turn it over, handing a marked, dateable piece to a buyer who read the base in 2 seconds and said nothing. So before you price it or box it for the sale, turn it over and read the bottom, because the top of the bowl is only the beginning and the base is the truth. The sixth takes that danger to its most expensive extreme, and it's the sugar bowl worth more than the whole tea set it came from, the great maker piece disguised among ordinary china. The finest sugar bowls don't announce themselves, because a tarnished sterling Georgian bowl, a signed Meissen sugar, a Tiffany or Jensen piece, all read as ordinary, and the very top of this market runs into the tens of thousands, one topping $60,000. The danger is the bulk lot, where a house clearance dealer offers one round number for all the old china and tea things, and the family, seeing a fair-sounding total for a cabinet of mismatched crockery, takes it. The sterling Bateman, the Meissen, the Jensen, all disappear into the lot with the chipped cups. This is where the most people lose the most money, not because the bowl looked like junk, but because it was disguised inside a transaction designed to prevent itemization. And sugar bowls are uniquely exposed because they arrive already orphaned and lumped in with worthless odds and ends. Grief and exhaustion are the picker's best friends, so the rule, plainly: never sell in a bulk lot, never accept one price for all of it. Photograph every piece including the base, and research each separately, because the entire value of a cabinet can sit in one small bowl nobody turned over. The seventh is the sugar bowl, whose value comes from colored art glass most people write off as ornamental junk. Victorian and later art glass produced sugar bowls in shaded, satin-finished, and cased glass that look like curiosities and sell like collectibles. The peach blow, Burmese, cranberry, and other art glass sugars being genuine collecting fields. Peach blow, shading from soft rose to yellow, and Burmese, glowing from pink to yellow, are exactly the kinds of glass people misjudge as pretty but worthless. The tells are the quality of the shading, the satin or glossy finish, and the applied decoration, because these were skilled art glass houses, not novelty makers. We've covered silver, glass, porcelain, and art glass, and the last three pull it together, starting with the detail that quietly decides a bowl's fate, the lid and condition. On a covered sugar bowl, the single most important thing is that the lid is original and matches, because a married or replaced lid, or a bowl with its lid lost, cuts the value dramatically, since collectors want the complete piece. Beyond the lid, condition is unforgiving. A chip, a hairline crack, a repaired handle, worn gilding, or clouding each take a real bite. Make sure the lid fits and matches in wear and pattern, run a finger around the rims and foot for chips, and tap gently, because a clear ring means sound and a dull thud means an unseen crack. So when you research, don't look at active listings, the bowls for sale with hopeful asking prices, because anyone can ask any number. Look at sold listings, what bowls actually changed hands for, and match the maker, material, pattern, and condition. Active listings tell you what sellers wish. Sold listings tell you the truth. The ninth is the reproduction and the reissue, the read it twice story running through this whole market. Popular patterns and forms get reproduced constantly, so a familiar look tells you less than people think. EAPG and cut glass patterns have been reproduced for decades, and copies often differ in weight, in the crispness of the cutting, or in an off color. With expert pacing, silver gets faked with plated pieces, stamped to mimic hallmarks, so epines or an absent lion passant means plate, not sterling. And long-running porcelain makers span everything from a genuine Georgian piece to a modern gift shop bowl under the same name, so the mark and the era matter more than the brand. The genuine article is judged by the mark, the material, the work, and the honest wear together, not the look alone. And the modern reproduction looks a touch too clean, while the real antique shows the wear ring, the softened hallmark, the tone of age. You read the bowl, not just the shape. The 10th is the grail, where every principle compounds and the ceiling disappears, the most extreme version of the central truth, that the value was lost the moment it passed from someone who knew to someone who didn't. At the very top sit the sugar bowls that look like nothing in a cabinet. A Georgian sterling covered sugar by Hester Bateman, a Meissen or Sèvres hand-painted and gilded bowl, a rare dark blue historical Staffordshire sugar with an American scene, a brilliant period cut glass or rare EAPG piece, a peach blow or Burmese art glass sugar, a signed Tiffany or Georg Jensen bowl. These surface in ordinary kitchens because orphaned from its set and dark with tarnish, the valuable bowl looks exactly like the worthless one until you turn it over. Every lesson converges here. The material and maker, the pattern and era, the hallmark and mark, the original lid, the honest wear, the warning never to dishwasher, scrub, or over-polish, and the venue, because where you sell matters as much as what. A rare bowl sold to a charity shop or a house clearance buyer is sold to whoever carries it off, while the person who'll recognize and pay for it is a specialist silver, ceramics, or glass dealer, or an auction house that reads marks for a living. So here's the checklist that flips you from the person being collected from to the person who knows. Don't dishwasher it, don't scrub the pattern or gilding, don't over-polish the silver, leave the honest wear where it is. Turn every bowl over and read the base, the hallmark, the factory mark, the pattern, because the top is only the beginning and the base is the truth. Check the lid is original and fits. Check the rim and foot for chips. Ring glass for hidden cracks. Never sell in a bulk lot. Research on sold listings, not active ones. And when you've found something real, take it to a specialist, not a passerby. If you recognized even one of these, hit the like button and comment below if you've got an old sugar bowl you can't identify, especially a silver, hand-painted, or shaded glass one, and I'll take a look. Subscribe if you want the part of the market the resellers already know and won't share, because the truth under all 10 is simple. These bowls were never worthless. They were built to look like the ones people give away, and the only thing standing between you and what they're really worth is knowing that's not a coincidence either.